Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. Today it's time for story time again. On a subreddit we've never been to because today I fucked up for when you're feeling bad about something you did and you just want to not feel alone in that. You know, because honestly we can all fuck up sometimes and it may or may not be something easy to move on from, but there are definitely people out there who are kind of going through similar things probably. You know? But anyways, you know the deal. Before I continue, y'all gotta get hydrated. So grab some water, or some tea, whatever else you like to drink, and then we'll continue. Do you have your drink? Okay, let's go. Today I fucked up by chasing down a loose husky. It was nice and warm today, and I felt like doing my schoolwork at a cafe. I get my drink, then sat up outside on their patio, laptop on the table, purse under the table. I had been there for a while when I heard a car slam on their brakes. I look up and see a beautiful husky dripping about without a care in the world. Well, of course I try to help. With a little convincing and my best cute dog calling voice, he trots over to me and lets me look at his collar. There's a number on the tag which I call and tell them where I am, and I sit on the sidewalk with the doggo and wait for the owners to come pick him up. About 20 minutes later, the owner picks up their dog. I'm feeling super wholesome until I'm feeling super stupid that I just left my stuff completely unattended at the table. Literally just as that thought goes through my head, I can see my purse is knocked over. My laptop was still on the table, but my wallet was snatched. Joke's on them though, I didn't have any cash and I turned off my debit card immediately, so they just got a cheap wallet full of useless plastic. Lol. Too long to read, saw a cute dog on the street, forgot I had stuff at the table, and come back to find my wallet stolen. I think this could have happened to a lot of people though. And depending on where you live, it may or may not have ended exactly like this. I'm kind of impressed. Like, I think maybe they just saw your laptop was like locked and thought it was too much of a hassle to try to unlock it and left it. But I think this could have happened to a lot of people. You know, because you're kind of busy trying to call this dog over so it doesn't get run over, right? And then in Germany, it's kind of a thing sometimes on trains when someone is traveling alone that they'll ask like a random person who's sitting like across the like hallway in the train to watch their stuff while they go to the toilet. If you're busy like trying to call this dog over, you're not gonna think of doing that, right? I think it might have ended better if you did, but honestly, who would have thought of it in that moment? Today I fucked up by putting pain relief cream on the wrong part of my body. I pulled a muscle at the gym yesterday and remembered I had an old tube of pain relief cream, like that deep heating menthol stuff. I applied it generously to my lower back and then plopped on the couch in my shorts, scrolling TikTok. What I forgot is that I didn't wash my hands. 10 minutes later, I scratch an itch. You know the kind. Within seconds, I felt the gates of hell open between my legs. My bits were on fire, like someone dipped my downstairs in ghost pepper oil. I leapt off the couch, tore off my clothes and ran to the bathroom. I tried cold water, made it worse. Tried baby wipes, so much worse. I was doing full lunges around the house moaning like I was being exercised. Ended up using a bag of frozen peas and googling how to neutralize menthol burns on genitals. Reddit came through, ironically. A girlfriend came home to find me naked, panting and cradling peas like I was breastfeeding them. Too long to read, didn't wash my hands after applying muscle cream. Touched myself. Spent the next 45 minutes regretting every decision I've ever made. I think it's moments like these where a lot of people probably can't help going down the spiral of questioning every decision that led them to this exact point, right? Like, I try not to dwell on anything because it's like the decision is made. Like, yeah, maybe I can pinpoint exactly what decisions led me to a certain situation. That's not gonna help anything. It might in this moment, however, distract you a little bit from that pain. And also, I can't imagine what that feels like, and I don't really want to. You know, because I think just no. Mm-mm. This is, however, the exact reason why I will wash my hands after putting on any kind of cream like that. You know, like lotion, if you accidentally rub your eyes after or something, burns a little, right? But after other creams, I always wash my hands, and I think after this thing, this person will probably end up doing the same. Today I fucked up by accidentally initiating a citywide goose chase. Just moved to a quiet area in pod. Said geese everywhere, not a fan, but I leave them alone until yesterday when I heard a ridiculous amount of honking outside of my window. I look out and see a huge goose chasing a terrified chihuahua around my yard. Old lady from the street is trying to help with the broom and failing. I get this genius idea to help, so I grab one gardening glove and run outside like I know what I'm doing. Goose turns on me instantly, spreads its wings. He sits like it wants my soul. I panic, start backing up, then running. But now a second goose joins, and suddenly I'm sprinting down the street being chased by two giant feathery demons. Neighbors are watching through windows, kids on bike right beside me laughing, cheering on the birds. A delivery guy almost crashes, trying to avoid the chaos it turns into. A full-on several-block goose pursuit. Me in the lead, screaming, geese behind, squawking like war drums. Eventually, I dive behind a parked car, out of breath, defeated and sweaty. The geese just waddle back like nothing happened. Chihuahua is safe. Old lady thanks me, tries not to laugh. Wife hears about it from the neighbors and looks at me and just says, "You brought a gardening glove, didn't you?" Now I'm the guy who ran from geese and apparently the unofficial goose whisperer of the neighborhood. Too long to read. Tried to save a chihuahua from one goose, ended up being chased by two across several blocks, while neighbors watched, laughed, and now everyone knows me as the goose guy. But why is it always the people trying to be nice to dogs? That's what I want to know. These people just want to help poor dogs, you know, not get run over or not being eaten by geese, because yeah, geese are either super chill or just demons from hell, and I think there's no in between. And you don't know which is which until they start chasing you down the street while you're wearing one gardening glove. What were you trying to achieve with a gardening glove in general? Like, I kind of see it, like you probably trying to like protect your hand or something, but one gardening glove? I'm pretty sure you didn't think in that moment, you just like grabbed something and ran out, but this is one of the moments, like, I'm not a fan of filming random people in public, right? It's really rude and you don't want to do that usually, but in this moment, I gotta question why someone didn't film it, you know? Like, don't post things about other people without their permission, you know, but this would get so many views, I'm telling you. Today I fucked up by buying a candle. The other day I went to Bath & Body Works with my boyfriend's mom. We went specifically so she could check out their semi-annual sale. We were walking around the store, smelling candles and soaps, and generally having a good time. This was one of the first times I've hung out with his mom without my boyfriend, though. Towards the end, she asked if there was anything I wanted. I asked if she was sure because I didn't want to take advantage of her. She said yes, so I looked around again. I found a candle I liked and thought it was part of their $11 candle sale, as the sign was right next to the candle. We checked out, went back to that place with no issues. That is, until I got home and FaceTimed my boyfriend before I went to bed. He laughed and said that I had expensive taste. I asked him what he meant, and he said that his mother had said that because of the candle I picked out. I was thoroughly confused, so I asked him to explain further. He said that his mother told him the candle I picked out had rung up for full price, almost $30. I turned bright red and asked him if he was being serious. I was mortified. I began apologizing profusely, telling him that if I had known it wasn't actually part of that sale, I would not even have picked up that candle. He was laughing his ass off and I begged him to tell his mom I was unaware of the price. He did, and I'm planning to buy her a gift card to make up for it. Too long read. Thought I was having my boyfriend's mom buy me a candle on sale. It turned out to be $30. You know, I think it would have been, like, awkward for her too. Like, if the cashier says the full price and she just went, oh, you know, no, I'm not going to buy it. You know, but if she was that short on money that it was a problem, she probably wouldn't have done it. She probably would have asked why it isn't part of the sale or something, you know. I think she just wanted it to not be that awkward. But candles generally can be very expensive. I don't really get why, but you know. I think right now it probably feels really embarrassing, but at some point you're probably gonna laugh about it. You know, because yeah, sometimes things in stores, especially around sales, aren't set up as clearly as it would maybe be needed. But you know, I kind of feel like, especially in a store like this, that's probably not like that much space to work with. I don't know, I'm not American. Like, I've never been to a Bath and Body Works, but kind of feel like it's gonna be not cluttered specifically, but like a lot of the shelves are just gonna be really full, and you might not be able to fence it off clearly between sale items and non-sale items. You know, so I think it could have happened to a lot of people as well. Today I fucked up by taking the wrong order. This isn't a huge fuck up, but enough that I feel bad enough to post. Ordered sushi at a sushi to go bar. The person who ordered after me got their box. The next person was put up and the number 79 was called. I took the box. I walked out, but it didn't feel like the right amount of food in the box. It felt heavy for a sushi roll, so I opened it and looked. It was not the right food. I walked right back in and handed it back and apologized. Then pulled out my receipt and noticed the number 77 on it. They made the other person's food again, since they couldn't give him that one since I technically left with it. I felt awful. My order came up soon. I mean, even if you check your order number, you're just like, yeah, 7 something, I'm sure it's fine. And like, if you see the person ordering after you and they already got their food, then I guess I can see it. I guess I can see it, like, especially if you were like in a rush or just like trying to get home and didn't feel like double checking your receipt, you know, but I think like this is one of the things with me. If I hear other people doing this, I just get paranoid and double check whenever I order something to make sure I have the right thing, you know. But I feel like this person now as well will check their order number or like receipt number every time they order something. You know, it's a good thing I already did that, because otherwise this would have probably happened to me and I couldn't be going back to that place to order something for like at least a year. You know, but I think for like the people specifically working in the restaurant, like of course you gotta feel bad because you just wasted food basically, but I think that's not the first time this has happened to the people in this restaurant. Like, sometimes fuck-ups like this literally just happen, and I think they're probably not as annoyed by it as you think they are. Today I fucked up by sending my boss a Shrek meme instead of my quarterly report. Alright, buckle up for a tale of sleep deprivation, misplaced files, and the power of Shrek to save or ruin a career. It was 2 AM and I was grinding to finish my quarterly financial report, a soul-crushing 30-page monstrosity. My brain was fried, my coffee was cold, and my will to live was dangling by a thread. To cope, I'd been swapping between my work folder and a folder of absurd memes my friend had sent me earlier. A pro tip, never mix business and meme-tainment. Finally, I finished the report. With the confidence of a man who definitely double-checked his attachment, I slammed send on the email to my boss, CCing the entire finance team. Then I passed out face first on my keyboard. I woke up to a Slack explosion. My heart dropped when I saw the preview. Per your attached analysis, followed by 12 laughing emojis from my coworker. I opened the sent email. Instead of like Q3 financials final V2 actual final doc, I'd attached a screenshot of Shrek with the caption, "That'll do, donkey, that'll do." Silence. Then my boss replied, "Creative approach, approved." The team lost it. Memes are now unofficially mandatory in all presentations. HR even asked me to run a how to communicate via memes workshop. I declined. The report got submitted late, but my reputation, forever legendary. Too long didn't read. Sent my boss a Shrek meme instead of a financial report. Now my company thinks I'm a comedic genius and I'm terrified of the next performance review. I think in some companies this might have gone really badly, and I'm really glad it didn't for you, because it's just funny. Probably do this on purpose from now. Not like instead of sending just the meme instead of the report, you know, even if... Because I think, once again, you're not gonna make this mistake again. You're gonna double check your attachments, at least on important emails like this, maybe. You know? But just like sending a meme and the report next time or something is probably gonna be expected now. It might be some pressure, but I think you can keep it up, you know? Because this is like one of the things in my current company. People still talk about certain people who I haven't even met. I've been there for like 3 years now. And they're still talking about people who worked there like 10 years ago or 8 years ago or 5 years ago because they did something really funny or really weird. So I think you're gonna be remembered even if you are no longer at this company. So there's that, at least. And I think if your boss approved of it and thought it was kind of funny, then your performance review isn't gonna be that bad, because you still sent in the report. Like, you still did the work. It's not like you were slacking off, you know? Today I fucked up by spraying a wasp with bug spray. Cat sitting for my friend at the moment, and I don't know if it's just from being deep in the countryside, but I've never dealt with this many flies and other insects coming into the house. Don't like killing anything, but at a certain point, houseflies are just unhygienic, so I got some fly spray. Within an hour, a wasp came in and wasn't getting out of my face, so I whipped out the spray. In the past, when I've sprayed wasps, they drunkenly fly away, bounce into a few walls, then die somewhere. Confidently armed with the spray, I let it rip on who I thought would be the only victim. Seemingly gaining sentience, the wasp turned on me. The following events happened in a matter of seconds, but to me lasted a lifetime. The wasp made a beeline, no pun intended, for my face. I was uncomfortable, but thought it was just confused. However, it went directly into my ear. I threw my head around screeching, making movements which would usually deter a wasp, but this one knew what it wanted. The buzzing and fumbling around in my ear intensified in a way which is haunting me hours later, until I feel a hot, agonizing sting on the inside of my ear. It flew away, leaving me clutching my ear. I had to peel the dislodged stinger, and I'm currently sat with an ice pack to my ear. The way it came straight for me with such intention is still repeating in my mind. Perhaps it was karma. I did try to kill it after all. Okay. Geese, known to be assholes. Wasps, definitely known as spawns of hell. Because bees, really cute, really nice, you know, they probably don't sting people, because if they do, they die. They're probably just like chilling and trying to look for food. Wasps pretend to be looking for food while hunting for victims, like this person. I don't know what bug spray you had, but whatever you had in the past that actually killed wasps was not this one. You know, so this is why a lot of people probably aren't a fan of trying to kill wasps, because they will take their revenge. And I'm so sorry for your ear, and I hope your ear's okay, because I don't think you're meant to be, like, stung in the ear by anything, so I really hope you're okay. Today I fucked up by eating too much broccoli. The other day I made a broccoli salad, the kind with raw broccoli, cheese, bacon, etc. I used one big crown of broccoli. I filled a big Tupperware container. On Saturday I ate half of it for lunch. I've been outside all morning and it was so good and refreshing. This is the perfect summer lunch, I thought. Yesterday I ate some more for lunch. Again, it was just so good. Ate it straight from the container, so happy that I had thought to make this delicious lunch. Last night I had broccoli also with dinner. Today I am fighting for my life in the bathroom. I'm so bloated, I look 6 months pregnant. Earlier, I was sure my entire digestive tract was going to burst out of my body. I ate a pretty high fiber diet, so I didn't even think twice about eating that much broccoli, but now, I don't know if I ever want to eat it again. This is something I can definitely picture me doing, because I love making a big container of food and then just eating it for lunch and dinner for a couple days in a row, basically. Or if you live alone and have like a big head of broccoli because you want fresh broccoli, and then just like making it with every meal, and maybe just preferring it raw because it's summer and you don't want it cooked and soggy or something, you know. But I can picture me doing this, actually, which makes me feel more sorry for you, I think, because like some things I don't imagine myself in that situation, and like with the order number, for example, because I know myself and I know how obsessive I get about checking things like this. But this I can definitely see me happening, because I'm like thinking about it. I'm just like, well, no, it's fine, you know, because if I feel kind of queasy or bloated or something after the first time eating this, I might try to like, I don't know, just like bake it shortly with some cheese over it or something, or like there's cheese in it, so it'd be fine probably, or something, because you can't really cook it if there's cheese in it, you know. But I would maybe try to bake it if I didn't handle it well the first time. But if it's like fine and then hours pass and then you eat it again, and then this would definitely happen to me, I'm not gonna lie. But thank you for making that mistake so I don't have to, I guess. And once again, I also hope you're feeling better again. You know. Anyways, that was all the stories I have for today. Please don't make these mistakes. You know, like, it's good to learn from your own mistakes, but it's also absolutely brilliant to learn from other people's mistakes. You know, because that way you don't have to make the same mistakes either. I guess. You know, so thank you for the people who posted these stories. I'm so sorry for your pain, and I hope the pain and embarrassment faded fairly soon. You know, but anyways, thank you for sharing, and I hope you enjoyed these stories. If you have something similar happening to you, maybe don't feel so bad about it, you know, like, again, we all just fuck up sometimes. And also, if you want to share it on the subreddit, go ahead, because I think a lot of people probably appreciate it, to know they're not the only ones who do something that would probably be classified as stupid sometimes, you know? But anyways, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back in a few days with my next video.